The world is charged with grace, that while sin and war, disease and death are terribly real, God's loving presence and power in our midst are even more real. Brennan Manning's words describe our mission, showcasing the reality of our unchanging God against the backdrop of a world that seems to be unraveling. I was not looking forward to revisiting the horror of the 2006 Amish schoolhouse shooting in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It was so tragic, so dark. After 7 years of silence, avoiding all media, the wife of the gunman brought an unexpected story of the grace of God and answered prayer.
I thought it was probably one of the hardest days of my life. Not just the emotion of losing your spouse, the father of your children, but the way that he chose to leave this world. And as I was standing in my parents' kitchen looking out the window, I saw a group of Amish men walking down the street, and I knew they were coming to my parents' home. My dad said, "Just stay inside and I'll go out." And so I watched from the window, and I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I could see everything. You know, I saw them put their hands on his shoulder and wrap their arms around him. And as he came back inside, you know, it took him time to recover from the emotion of that moment. And he said, "Marie, they came because they were concerned about you and the children. They want you to know that they've forgiven Charlie and that they're extending grace and compassion over your whole family." That very afternoon of the shooting, I knew that I was faced with a choice. I could either choose to believe that God is everything I had ever read in the pages of the Word, all that I had felt Him speak to my heart or heard others testify of Him to be. I could choose to believe that that God was somehow going to rescue our family, or the only other choice was to believe that we were going down like the fastest sinking ship. And you know, I couldn't wrap my mind around how God could rescue us except to believe that He would. You know, it's not something that I would have ever imagined I was strong enough to handle, and I didn't have to be strong enough to do it because it was the strength of the Lord.
The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it, John 1:5 declares. This story that garnered global attention did not focus on the heinous crime or the heart-ripping loss, but the breathtaking forgiveness so beautifully and compassionately expressed by the Amish community. Marie Monville's book is entitled "One Light Still Shines." She calls it a love story. People need to know the Lord, who can turn the deepest darkness into light. I'm sure you know this is Volunteer Appreciation Week, and we look forward to bringing Crossroads volunteers together to express our love and gratitude with a special luncheon each day. I took a photo of Dorothy Reed at the Thanksgiving wall here in our town square. She was the longest-serving volunteer in the group yesterday. For 27 years, Dorothy has been answering calls to our prayer line, encouraging people with spiritual and practical needs. Look what she wrote on our wall. "Many times I have called in with family needs, and God has never failed." Wow, what a testimony. People in any and every situation are able to make that discovery every day around the clock because of our prayer lines. Over 1,000 calls a day.